Hi guys, this is the fourth part of introduction to the manual testing, and we will start with where we left last time, and that was test design techniques. Now let me just brief you about if you haven't gone the last video. Okay, so I recommend you to go through my previous videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, and so that you will be able to understand much more clear about what I'm going to just tell you all guys. Okay, so let's brief about the last time what we know about the test life cycle, the software test life cycle. So as we discussed, there are four different parts basically as per standards, that is test planning, test design, test execution, and test closure. So last time we have seen that what are the roles and responsibility of test planning, and we have also got a very brief about what is test design and how do we design a test cases in this phase of HLTS, sorry, software test life cycle. So I'll just go back again to test design. Now this is the second phase in software test life cycle, the design of the test, like where we design the test, that how we are actually going to perform the test on a given particular application or your project. So in this phase, the first is generating test case scenarios. Now in other words, we can say this is just a high level scenarios. So in this phase you will for example, you got a test documentation, a specification like SRS, okay, or you have got TDS from the team, from the dev team, okay. So what you need to do in this phase, what we need to do in this phase is just design a high level scenarios, that how the application, the scenarios, how the application is going to work, okay. For example, just say that there was a requirement that there will be a login, there will be a login feature in the SRS that is defined. So in high level test case scenario, where we will be just writing that okay, there will be a login page in that case, and login page will contain of username and password and login button, and let's say that there will be another register button in case a person wants to register, the user wants to register, and so it's a new user. So only this thing will contain in high level scenario. There won't be anything much in depth. Okay, so this is your generating test case scenarios. This will come under this test design. Okay, next is test case documentation. Now this is where even the high level test case scenarios goes much into deeper. Here you'll be writing the test cases, actual test cases on each of the scenarios that will be given to that is given to you. For example, last time we have taken a login feature as a part of requirement, and we have written a high level scenario that there will be a login button in this. Now this will also this test case will contain exact specification about the login field, the login button, the password field, the username field, text, what color it should be, what's the font, or any even the smallest details that can come under this test case documentation. And the last but not the least is your data collection, the data that is required to run you to execute your test cases, okay, to execute your test in the real environment. So that will contain that data collection that is supposed to be done here. Even documentation will also contain of a couple of other things that I'll not discuss in this video, that is your traceability matrix and all, where you will be pointing each and every test document that you have written to its requirement directly, from starting right from BRD to your SRS to your HLTS to your test cases, okay. So that will totally be mapped, and we will just check how if everything is covered in the form of test cases or not. So this is how the test design, the second phase of your software testing life cycle, is supposed to be performed, okay. So with this we will move to the next phase of your software testing life cycle, and that will be your test case execution. So what are the roles and responsibilities, and what are the steps that will contain in this test case execution is let's go through it. One is you're verifying your TES or test environment setup. So as last time I told that there is the test setup, the setup of the environment in the test planning phase, that there will be a setup. We will specify the test environment setup. Now here we will verify that if the setup of the environment is as per the perfection or as per the requirement. For example, last time I said that the test case has our application will run will support Android 5 and Android 6. So we need to have a Android 6 and Android 7 device, Android 6 device. So or we have a particular target or a priority device, suppose Note 3 or uh, Note 3 or anything as such. So we'll see that if the setup is as per perfection. This is just an example. It can be something else also according to your environment. But the idea is just that test the environment as we have specified in the previous planning phase, that it is as much realistic as it should be in the real environment, in the real production environment the application is going to be. Next responsibility in test execution phase will be your creating test batches. So as in the last phase we have created test documentations and test cases. So that will create the batches, that different batch of test cases that is supposed to be executed. Namely, you can have anything as functional, as non-functional, as regression. So there will be different batches that you will have to create and keep it separately, so that once that systematically you can proceed with your testing. Okay, and the last step is your test case execution. Now please do not confuse between the step or test case execution itself and the sub step, that is test case execution. These are two different. Okay, the test case execution exactly will take you to the functional part of your testing life cycle, that is to perform the tests now on the application. That is, we have different kind of tests, that is smoke, sanity, BPT. Anyway, this will be a part of this, but the test execution. But we'll see that there are different also. The smoke, sanity, BVT or BVA is just a small test that will perform before going deeper into the test. Okay, now these are a couple of interview question. What is the difference between smoke test and sanity test? Now if you take functionally, these both tests are supposed to be performed to test the application, so that it is further testable or not, it is ready to test or not, or can we go more deeper into the testing or not. But literally, if we talk about BVT is just build verification test, or BAT is build acceptance test. So both are same, just a different abbreviation, again according to different industries, different protocols that industry follows. So they abbreviate or they call it in a different way. Okay, so that's a very small test. We just check that if the build is build that we have got is acceptable or not. So let me give you an example. For example, you have a application that is supposed to be tested on a mobile environment. Okay, so suppose the environment that we need to test is Android environment or iOS environment. So the first test that it can include is your, if the build that you have got is a APK file, if it's an Android environment. Okay, if the build size is as per the specification, suppose the build size was supposed to be like below 100 MB, so you'll just check the size of the build. Okay, you'll check that if the application that you have got is getting installed on the given device or not, specified device or not, it's getting uninstalled or not. So it's not too much, like BBT will just check that if build is acceptable or not. Whereas smoke, if you go for it, will just check for the basic functionality, very major functionality, so that if we can proceed with further testing or not. For example, let's take after you have got an application, you have it's up and running, and you need to check, you have a login window at the first instance itself. So you'll just check that if you're able to log in or not, you're not able to log in. So that's what you'll be testing just. Okay. You'll not test with different scenarios like with a wrong username, right password, and all this kind of scenarios. So that will come under deeper testing. Whereas sanity can go a little deeper, more than a smoke test. Okay. So that's as per name itself, sanitizing. So you'll just go you can go a little more deeper into the application, more exploring more functionality, testing more of the functionalities than that of smoke test. But basically all this test, BVT, BBA, sanity, and smoke, you can perform just to check if the build is stable or not, if it's testable or not. Okay. So let's check what are the more different things that after that we have to do in the test case execution phase itself. Okay. So one is, after we have completed with smoke, sanity, BBT, this kind of tests, we can start with the comprehensive testing that will contain even more functional testing, more deeper testing. Okay. So like last time in smoke, sanity, or BBT, we have just checked the basic functionalities and check that if a build is stable or not. So now in comprehensive testing you can go even the batches that you have created. So in that you can go even more deeper in all sort of test cases that you have written, that you have covered all the requirements, checking each and every requirement. Okay. So this is so comprehensive testing, definitely you'll be able to perform only if the build is testable. For example, say that the build that you got, the Android build you got, it's not getting installed on the device, okay, due to some reason. So you cannot go with the comprehensive testing now, because at first stage itself you have got a blocker bug that it's not getting installed. Or let's say you are the first instance that you got in the last time was a login window, and you're not able to log in into the application, login button is missing, or you have such kind of a defect there. By any means you're not able to log in, so you cannot test the build at all, because you will not be able to log in, so rest of the test cases will be blocked, so the build is rejected. So that's the reason why we will go for this smoke, sanity, and BBT, these tests, before going deeper into the comprehensive testing. The next phase after the testing is your defect reporting. So this is not a phase, means this can also be done during the comprehensive or during your BBT, smoke, or sanity. But yeah, defect reporting is one if you find a defect. Next is your defect tracking, where you need to track down the defects that has already been logged, or you have logged the current defect and you have assigned it to someone, it's been reassigned to you after getting fixed. Okay. So once you have done, and the next chapter will be your regression testing. Now regression testing is basically now there is one question that is very prominent in most of the interviews you'll face. Okay. So what is the difference between a regression testing and retesting? Now retesting is just you will test the exact pinpoint defect that you have got. For example, you got a defect that the login page was not functioning properly. I was not able to log in into the application via correct username and password. So this was the defect you logged. So if it said that you have to retest the application, retest this defect, so you will just try to log in and you will check that if you are able to log in or not. Okay. So the retesting ends here. But regression testing, you will also not only test this defect impacted area, but the whole area of impact that is potentially that can potentially be impacted due to the code changes that has been made in this module. So basically you will look for any sort of that if any functionality or any of other things that is broken due to this code change. And regression testing are of two type, one is your general and one is your final. So there will be a lot of iterations, so you can just perform a general regression over that, or final regression will contain of more number of test cases that you have logged that you have created during when you have tracked a defect, tracking a defect. So we'll talk more about defect tracking, defect reporting, regression testing, final, and general regression when we are talking about your bug life cycle. So that will come up in a different video. Okay. So basically it will contain with the reporting, defect tracking, and all everything. Okay. So this was your test case execution. So I'll stop this video right here, right now. So I'll continue with the last step, that is your test reporting. Okay. that is test case closer. Okay, test the test closer in the next video. So I'll just brief that what we have learned today, what we have done today. So let me get back. So we have learned in the previous from the previous video and total life software testing life cycle, the steps. There are 4 different steps that we need to perform: test planning, test design, test execution, and test closure. Where we have discussed about test planning, we have discussed about test design, which contains of 3 different major responsibilities: generating test case scenarios, test case documentation, test data collection. Okay, the next phase is your test case execution, where you have various responsibilities, that is verifying test environment, creating test batches, execution of test cases. Okay, comprehensive testing, defect reporting, defect tracking, and regression testing, final and general. So this will be the end of this video. And guys, if you did really like my video, if really you did learn about get to learn something, okay, and so if you I'll really request you to just like, subscribe, comment, and share my videos. So, and one more thing, that I see quite a few shares, likes, or comments coming from you people. So I'll just brief you about how do you do all these activities if you're not very much familiar to that. So if you want to like a video or share a video or comment in a video, just when you open a video, just I'll give you a demonstration of it. Just pause it. So here, okay, I'll have to open this. I'll just pause. So in order to subscribe, here is a subscribe button. Just click on subscribe, and it is very important. Like, if you subscribe it, I'm uploading a lot of videos, and not only on testing, and many other related videos also, what you will find pretty much helpful. So just click on subscribe button. Okay, and as I upload my new videos, you'll just get intimated. Okay, and definitely you won't have to wait for me to share it on Facebook or anything or anywhere. If you really like the video, here's the thumbs up button. Just click on like. And you want to share the video, and you really liked, and you want to share with your friends, just there is a share button right here. Hi all, this is the so you can just click on share button, and this video will get shared, and to your friends or anyone whom you want to share with. Okay, so that is all from my side. And any comments, please, if you want any requests exclusively explicitly on any of the technologies or any of the topics that I'm just putting videos, just make a comment or just send me a mail. And thanks for watching. That's all for the day. Have a nice day.